So we don't usually think of the South when we think of the Amish. We think of states like Pennsylvania and Ohio and Indiana, Wisconsin, but there is a, let's say, significant and growing Amish population across the South. And I want to share with you 5 Southern Amish settlements today. The first Amish settlement is Ethridge, Tennessee. This is actually one of my favorite communities. It's about an hour and a half south of Nashville. This is a very plain Swartzentrooper Amish community. So these are some of the most traditional Amish. They don't use the orange SMV safety triangle. Their homes have a very specific, simple look to them. They've got the red barns, white homes, kind of a metal roof. This community tends to be very entrepreneurial. You'll find shops and businesses and stores selling all kinds of things throughout the community. Furniture stores, you have homemade candy, you have peanut brittle, you have homemade soaps and candles, all kinds of food, produce, cookies, pies. You name it as far as the Amish go. I even bought this interesting basketball game that an Amishman made where you flick a spoon and it launches like a ball on a string into like a hoop. Very nice community to visit. This is definitely the South. The Amish have been there for over 75 years. They actually settled there during World War II in 1944. There's a tourist industry there. You can go on these buggy rides where they take you around these big buggy wagons, which are pulled by these large Belgian draft horses, just loaded up with like 15, 20 people. So you'll see those going around the community. Really interesting community, nice place to visit. Number 2, Union Grove, North Carolina. So this is my home state. Small community. This is a New Order Amish settlement. This is actually what's called an electric New Order Amish settlement. So it's a horse and buggy Amish community, but they're, in terms of the technology they allow, they're pretty progressive. They actually allow electricity in the home. This is a very small minority of Amish, but they're still considered Amish. And so they're kind of the opposite end of the, let's say, spectrum to the Ethridge Amish I just mentioned. This is a small community. It's been there about 35 years. They've got a couple of businesses you can visit. It's got a nice store called Shiloh General Store. I was just there a few months ago. They've grown over the years. They're in a much larger building now. Lots of Amish foods, kind of variety goods. You can get sandwiches there. There's also a Wholesome Country Creamery that has great ice cream there. Recommend it. Number 3 is Pontotoc County, Mississippi, around the town of Randolph. I guess this is technically the only Amish settlement in the Deep South. They've been there for over 25 years. These people originally mainly came from Ethridge as well, so they're also a Swartzentrooper group, very plain. In some ways, it reminds me of the Ethridge community. Just visited here last year for the first time, met some very friendly people there, visited a lot of businesses there, a nice settlement, and the only one in the Deep South. Number 4, Salem, Arkansas. And this is in Fulton County. This is on the northern border of Arkansas. Depends on how you define the South. That might be barely in the South, or if you consider Missouri part of the South, well, there's some other communities we could include from there as well. So this community, it's just a small community. It was actually founded in 2008 by Amish from Tennessee. There's a good number of businesses there. You got woodworking, a general store, some baked goods. That's one of the 2 Amish settlements in Arkansas. Interestingly, we actually had a post on the website at Amish America about one of the Amish communities in the state that went extinct. And when I say went extinct, basically the Amish moved away from that area. And it happens from time to time. Sometimes it's an area turns out to be not a great place for an Amish settlement. One of our contributors named Don Burke actually documented kind of the remnants of this old Amish settlement in Arkansas, and there's a post called A Visit to an Amish Ghost Town, where you actually see photos of an old abandoned Amish school. So number 5 is Halifax County, Virginia. This is a community that started in 2005. Amish from Delaware came and moved out of the one Delaware community to live here. That's a community in Delaware that had a lot of land pressure. Prices for land have gone through the roof, and a lot of Amish have kind of moved out of there over the years. So they settled here in southern Virginia. This community has actually done quite well. It's grown to 4 congregations, 4 church districts in size. So there are about 400 Amish there. There are a number of businesses there. I've got some friends there who have a store called King's Country Store, which is a nice place to visit if you're ever in the area. Virginia has actually been one of the more popular southern states for Amish to settle in recent years. They're up to about 10 settlements. They've added 4 new communities in just the past couple years. Some Amish from Lancaster County have started a couple settlements there. Amish, as I mentioned, from Delaware, and there's some other communities in the west in the mountains, a place called Parisburg, another one called Burke's Garden. So Virginia is a hot spot, so to speak, in the South for Amish settlements. So what other Amish communities from the South did I leave off this list? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more videos like this, and talk to you soon.